Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great. The following videos that you're about to see is going to reveal that racism still exists. And I know in as much as this has been something that has been debated, because people say that racism is something that ended a long time ago. But brothers and sisters, the following clips that I'm going to be playing you is going to be a proof that racism still exists. So when people argue, or people counteract the fact that racism still exists, show them these videos, and this is a proof that racism still exists. Brothers and sisters, let's watch this video. I'll be back and then I'll be sharing my thoughts in regards to this. As you know, I'm your host and presenter, Agent Stories. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and let me know what you think about this. So let's watch the video. I'll be back.
Yeah, you people do that.
Always you
day.
people.
Every day I need to say the same thing.
Lady, if you have a problem with my skin, you can use the next
No,
stop.
I don't have a problem.
Then stop treating me like I'm not a person.
Quiet.
No, I will not be quiet.
I mean,
You're not
listen.
gonna bully me into silence, ma'am.
No.
I have rights to be here.
Can you listen to me?
No, I won't. You listen. You've been very
Put your
rude.
finger
You
down.
have to stop it.
Okay, let's say you were forced to place a bet for all your money you had. You had to bet which demographic steals more, black people or white people. Who would you bet on? Let's be honest here.
What are you trying to do?
No, so if you had to place a bet, if you were a betting woman.
I wouldn't know, to be honest. I don't know.
I don't ask racist
Yeah,
questions.
you be asking all these racist questions. That's all questions you be asking all the girls. Answer those questions up.
I ask everyone.
Bro, you know what you be doing, bro. Ask me those questions.
Which question?
Whatever question you want to ask, bro. Ask.
I was asking people today about the transgender shooter.
No, I want to know about the black questions that you be asking these girls about the black people. You be out here trying to clown black people.
Wow.
Whatever you want to ask. Don't get...
You're being insultive, and I think that's
Same
unfair.
rules is for everybody.
I didn't do nothing to you.
There is a sign somewhere.
My
there
volume,
that
you
shows
said-
You put the volume down.
You said my volume was loud. I said I'm sorry. Brought it down,
Yeah, but
and you
then
start
need
talking
to
about
put
you
it down.
people.
It doesn't.
Why should I
It's
turn
not
off? Why should I
enough, you
turn off
say.
my phone for you?
It's not enough if you say.
It's
I'm sorry.
rude. It's
you
rude.
don't
No,
put
no,
it
no, 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 no.
down.
It's rude if you talk
Yes,
to me and be
yes,
like, yeah,
yes,
yeah, yeah,
yes.
you people.
Yes,
That's
yes, yes.
rude.
Yes, yes.
Don't do that to me. I don't
do
know
that to
you.
me. Don't you do that to me.
I don't know you there.
I don't know you.
That's rude.
It doesn't. That's not the question. The question is the rules is for everybody.
My volume wasn't even
Same
loud.
rules for everybody.
I don't gotta turn off my phone for you. I'm sorry. Did you hear
No,
anything from my
no.
phone?
You don't need to. Close your phone, but put the volume down. That's
You
the
don't.
only
She's being
question.
racist right now.
Every
You
time the
people.
same thing. If you say something, it's for hours.
Are you
Can you
okay?
stop it?
Did somebody hurt you?
Can you stop it? Yeah, you people do that.
Always
Every
you
day.
people.
Every day I need to say the same thing.
Lady, if you
Always.
have a problem with my skin, you can use the next
No,
stop.
I don't have a problem.
Then stop treating me like I'm not a person.
Quiet.
No, I will not be quiet.
I mean,
You're not
listen.
gonna bully me into silence, ma'am.
No,
I have rights to be here.
Can you listen to me?
No, I won't. You listen. You've been very
Put your
rude.
finger
You
down.
have to stop it.
So we were discriminated against at Verse in North Hollywood.
So basically, we wanted to have like a cute little girls' night out. We went to Verse. We went in there as packed as usual. Normally, when we go, we always get a table. We have dates. It's a good night.
We don't got dates.
We-
Hold on.
Okay, so yeah, we walk in. We're like, okay, the bar is packed. Okay, so we're like, let's go to the bathroom. Or I said, let's go to the bathroom because I already got to pee. And we see this guy that was sitting by the bar in the bathroom because it's a co-ed bathroom. And he was like, hey, I seen you guys looking for seating. Me and my friends were about to leave soon. So as soon as we leave, there's 3 seats. You guys can have them. You know, you guys will be good to go. So I'll flag you when I leave.
Okay, so boom. Now we're at the bar. He gets up. We sit down. We're happy.
But you forgot to tell him it was 3 seats.
It was 3 seats at the bar. So me and her sit down. We order our drinks. A blonde woman comes immediately in the 3rd seat. We don't know who she is. She just sits down. Whatever. We order our drinks. I swear, like 5 minutes later, Daniel, who is a new manager, comes over and says, hey, ladies, we have reservations for the bar. These 2 seats are taken, so you need to take your drinks and go over there. up against the wall and have your drink.
Reservations for the bar, you guys. It is a bar full of people. And out of all the people at the bar, he comes up to us two. We are the only two at the bar in this entire bar of people. So I had to say, so you mean there's reserved seating for these exact seats? What about the lady next to us? Because
so then he then says, I don't know what her situation is. We don't either, but the point is you came over to us in a very aggressive manner.
Yeah, it wasn't even nice.
You didn't have to say, take your drinks and go over there up against the wall. At least say, hey ladies, we are taking reservations for the bar. I know you just ordered your drinks. If you can have your drinks, these two are taken, maybe we'll find you a seat somewhere else. Doesn't do that. Just says, get your drink and go over
stand
there.
under the wall. Yeah,
So Alan comes over and he just seems combative. And all we want to do was explain the fact that you guys are making a scene at these two black women who are at the bar just trying to order our drinks.
Yeah.
If you just take care of our drinks, we'll leave. At this point, I don't want to spend any money here. I really don't want to be here. But since you've already caused this scene, take care of our drinks and then we'll leave.
Yeah, they definitely caused a scene.
Manager never comes back. Nobody comes back. We're waiting. So at this point, we're not touching our drinks. I don't want to take a sip. I don't want to spend any money here. They're going to have to figure out that part.
Yeah, because we had ordered drinks early on. So the bartender sees that we're literally not touching our drinks. It's been like 20 minutes. No manager ever comes back. So the bartender, his name was Tab. He was very cool.
Tab was so sweet.
The only bartender that was very genuine and real there. And he was like, hey, ladies, do you want some shots? It's on me. Because he's seen we didn't want to even touch their drinks. And we're like, you know what? At this point, why not?
So we gather our things and we leave. Before I left, this is how I know their names, because I asked him. I tapped Alan on the shoulder and asked for his name and he told me. And then Daniel very sarcastically was like, ladies, you have a great evening. It wasn't necessary, but we will have a great evening. And also, if you are black people, have you been to Verse and did you have this type of experience?
Yeah, we want to know, because we've been to this place before, but like I said, different circumstances. But I just felt targeted. I felt like it was because we were black. I absolutely do. We were like pretty much the only ones in there. And it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. We didn't feel welcome. We came there to spend money. And we were very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Will not be back. And
will not.
And want to know, did any other black people have this experience at Verse LA in North Hollywood?
Imagine being told the entire time that you were growing up that you were second class to a specific race, constantly getting gaslit about the horrendous shit that you and your ancestors went through, getting told that you're always overreacting, that you're always bringing up the past, that it was a long time ago. And imagine that one superior race who thinks that they're better than everybody else tries to flip it on to you, how you guys are actually the savages, how you guys are actually the ones that are the issue. You're starting to put the pieces together? Great. Now you know what it's like to be black. Being black in America is honestly so exhausting, because you can't talk about the past because, oh, then you're talking about race. Oh, all you talk about is race. Oh, that happened so many years ago. But then once you stop talking about race and you just are minding your business amongst your own people, they still come over here and bother you. It is literally so insane. Black people cannot win in this country, bro. And that's why I tell y'all to do whatever it is that you want to do. Because white people honestly feel very threatened and very intimidated by us. So the only thing you can do is live your best black life. They hate to see us thriving. Oh well, we'll cry about it.
African immigrants do not view racism the same way as Black Americans, because we were looking at it from two completely different perspectives. Africans grew up in majority Black nations, with Black culture, Black leadership, and Black everything being the norm on a day-to-day basis. It's not the core part of their identity, because everyone is majority Black when they look around. Black is the default. So off rip, they are not looking at things through a racial lens. But Black people in America look at everything through a racial lens, because we are the minority in a country that was built off of our oppression. And the entire system was designed not only to exclude us, but to capitalize off of that exclusion. So systemic oppression is the struggle that Black Americans are dealing with on the home front. Struggles that people are dealing with in Africa are due to a failing or underdeveloped system. poverty, corruption, lack of opportunity, economic instability, which is really the legacy of colonialism and neocolonialism. So in their minds, they see America as having a functioning system. They see America as full of opportunity compared to back in Africa. So they come here and they focus on individual advancement, where Black Americans see the system as being historically and currently rigged against us. We are not immigrants. We are people from whom system was explicitly built to oppose. They often see racism as individual prejudice, personal act of meanness or ignorance that can be overcome or ignored on their path to success, where Black people understand that it is systemically embedded feature of law, institution, and economic that create a barrier far beyond individual prejudice. And I think a lot of the disagreement comes from not understanding what something means to be systemic. And something is systemic, a pattern behavior or a culture that is repetitive that many people are perpetuating. Because there are many people in America who are racist and have anti-Black sentiment, and they encompass various positions and roles in America, it makes racism systemic. The system is not a machine, but the individuals who make up the machine. Since so many people are racist, the issue is systemic. They have embedded personal prejudices into the system. Not only that, are passing down this ideology to their offspring, which makes it more systemic. Anyways, so because of the hurdles that they faced back home, they often see what Black Americans go through as trivial or frivolous or not as hard as compared to what they went through back home. That's where the ideology that Black Americans are lazy comes from, because they face national systemic instability in their homelands. But what they are not understanding is that what Africa is going through is a core function of systemic racism. It is systemic racism on a global scale. Systemic instability for Black Americans is internal. It's redlining, it's mass incarceration, it's police brutality, it's education inequity. But for Africa, it's the deliberate underdevelopment of the entire continent that is primarily populated by Black people. It's the European powers carving up the continent with no regards for ethnic, linguistic, or cultural boundaries, and the creation of artificial nations primed for internal conflict. It's the exploitation used by Western corporations and financial institutions like IMF and the World Bank, pillaging resources and dictating economic policy through debt. This is economic racism on a global scale. The ideology that justified slavery in America, the belief in white supremacy, and the inferiority of Black people is the exact same ideology that justified the colonization of Africa. Africans say, I came over here and succeeded, why can't you? They are comparing overcoming poverty caused by global anti-racism, anti-Blackness, i.e. colonialism, to the Black American experience of overcoming poverty by domestic anti-Black racism. We are battling the monsters created by the same beast, white supremacy. One monster was unleashed abroad to destabilize and plunder nations. The other was built at home to control and exploit the population. Defeating one does not mean the other does not exist. It just means you're fighting in a different arena. Anyways, if you're new here, welcome. Almost my entire page is dedicated to deconstructing white supremacy. And this particular topic is the foundation of a new theory that I'm working on called the diasporic division stratagem. And this video is already too long, but I already have an entire playlist dedicated to it, and I will be expanding upon it soon. But basically, the gist of it is white supremacy created all of this friction between Black Americans and people of the diaspora so that we would never come together and fight global white supremacy. But we actually have more in common than we have apart. And our main fight will always be against white supremacy. And I want us to always remember that.
I decided to go out with some friends yesterday, and I really wanted to dance, but instead of dancing with the regular people that I dance with, I decided to, just try to make new connections and make new friends. So I saw two women at the bar dancing, having a good time. I say, hey, would you guys like to dance with me? They're like, yeah, let's go dance. So we all go to the dance floor, and then there's 2 girls dancing. And they're so beautiful, like they're having such a great time. And then eventually they join with us, and now there's 5 of us dancing. 2 more girls come out of the restroom, and they're like so hyped. And now it's 7 of us dancing, and we're all dancing together. And when I tell you, the energy was just high, and it was just very, very beautiful. All of us were black. So beautiful to see, you know, different types of black women, different types of black beauty. Like, it was truly beautiful to be a part of that. You can see that some people were actually admiring it as well, you know, sitting in their sections. Like, you can see some people were actually just admiring all of us having a great time. Well, suddenly this guy comes into the circle with this blonde girl, and he nudges me out of the way with his back and the woman that was next to me, because like I said before, we were in a circle. He nudges the woman next to me with his back. He nudges me and he starts twirling this blonde girl around in a circle like some sort of like a prop. You know, I thought that maybe I was just reading into things until I looked around me and everybody else was so confused, like, what is going on? Because the vibes were off. It was just really, really off, you know? We just were trying to really understand what was going on. You know, the guy, he wasn't smiling at anyone. He didn't say hi to anyone. He was just looking at the blonde girl, and the blonde girl didn't say hi to anyone, didn't look up at anyone. She just like twirled in the circle, and then they left. And that was just very, very strange, you know? Like, they weren't dancing with us at all. The vibes were off. Things went back to normal after they left, and we all started enjoying each other's time and just really vibing and having a great time. Now, I'm saying all this to say, this is what black women, including myself, experience from time to time. Not all the time. If you are black, you will know, because for some reason, certain non-black people feel the need to try to humble you, you know? And what's so funny is that another thing that I notice, now this happens to me personally with white women and Hispanic women. Not all, okay? Not all. I'm not saying all women, I'm not saying all non-black women are racist, but I'm saying that some are. Some at least feel like they're superior. Every single time that I go out to a cocktail bar, I get hair flipped directly in my face. There's this mindset that certain non-black women have where they believe that we want their hair. I understand, because of history and white supremacy, that a lot of people believe that they are actually superior, you know, and better than black people. The world is starting to wake up as to why slavery even existed in the first place, and it's not because black people were inferior. It's not. You know, at night I got hair flipped in my face behind this white girl. She looked over her shoulder, saw that I was behind her, and flipped her hair directly in my face. We were taught to not like our hair. We were taught to not like our hair. Like, what is the reason why people try to put a whole race down, you know, make them feel inferior? No one robs an empty home. I'm coming on here to speak for myself and my experiences, and for the experiences that I know other black women go through. We never wanted to be white. We never wanted to be white. We never wanted to look white. If a black woman hates anything about herself, it's because she was taught to hate it. It's because she was taught to minimize herself. And whether people like to hear it or not, it needs to be heard. At the same time that I get hair flipped in my face, those same girls will have this done and lip filler and, you know, all of the facial enhancements and surgical procedures that come naturally with being black. And I just want to make it clear that I don't absorb any of this. It's mainly just an observation. It's kind of inevitable for me to not experience this because I am black. And the more and more it's not talked about, the more we can't bring awareness to it. When I go out to genuinely have a good time and make the most of the moment. I don't go out flipping my hair in people's faces, barring my way, being rude and inserting myself in spaces to try to, get people to react to me. All the people that love to do this to try to see if they can get a reaction out of black women, it is so apparent and obvious. Like, nobody there was like, or like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, and it was embarrassing because people realize it's a projection, It doesn't look like, I'm blonde and I'm better than you. It looks like, please be jealous of me. That's what it looks like.
I don't know about everyone, but like me having that talk with my daughter about, people calling her skin weird, ugly. She goes to a predominantly, white nursery. Most of the children there are Caucasian, but like, I never ever thought in this day and age that, you know what I mean? Like, kids would be coming out with that. Kids will be coming out with those kind of things to other kids, and it just makes me feel really sad that my daughter's going through that. And I just wanted to talk to her and kind of, get it out there, because it just doesn't make you feel good. Like, it doesn't make you feel good as a parent. It doesn't make you feel happy. It makes you actually feel sad. Like, it makes me feel sad that my daughter's actually coming home and telling me things that she doesn't really even understand, but it shows from such a young age that, children notice things and say things to each other, and it's just really made me sad. So, I wanted to kind of have a talk with her and just show her that she's beautiful, tell her that she's beautiful, and, just kind of make her feel okay, because she was really sad about that and she didn't understand it. Like, it's my skin. Like, why is it weird? Why is it ugly? It's just really sad. But yeah. Tell me if any of you guys have had something like that, where, your child's come home and just said to you, like, something you didn't ever think you would hear, like 3-year-olds talking about ugly skin and stuff like that. It's just weird.
If you're black and live in America, you will always have a story about an experience that you had with blatant racism. So for those of you who don't know, I served in the United States Air Force. So the year is 1984, and I had been accepted to start boot camp for the Air Force, but I needed to wait for another 6 weeks. So during the time that I'm waiting to start Air Force, I take this temporary job through a temp agency. And the temp agency calls me and they say, we have an assignment for you at a law firm. So I prepare myself, and I'm always very professional, and I put on my professional attire, and I show up to the assignment. So when I get to the assignment, it's a very small husband and wife law firm. And so I arrive early, and I walk into the law firm, and I am met with the wife. And I say to her, I'm here from blah, blah temp agency. And she had an expression on her face that I had never seen before. But this feeling came through my body. So she was a middle-aged white woman, and her husband had not gotten to the office yet. So she tells me to have a seat. Now, this assignment was for me to sit in their front office as a receptionist. The receptionist who worked there on a permanent basis went out on maternity leave, so they went to a temp agency, okay? So she goes in an office that's adjacent to the receptionist area, and I could hear her. She didn't know I could hear her, but I could hear her on the phone, and she had called her husband, and she's trying to figure out how they're gonna deal with this person in their front office. Shortly after, her husband arrives to the office, and he greets me, and then he goes in the office with his wife, and they try and gently let me know that my assignment has been terminated and that they have reached out to the temp agency, and I think I was there for no more than 30 minutes to an hour. Not one customer had arrived or anything of the sort. And I remember going home to my mom, and I was just like really confused. And you know, you got to understand, I was 19 years old at the time, 18, 19. And I had never been so blatantly, you know, treated in such a way. And so I told her what happened, and she gave me a really good talk about, you know, being Black in America, and that this is the first of many situations that I'm going to have to unfortunately deal with. And in today's climate, it's much different than it was back when I was 19. You know, we don't tolerate those types of behaviors. We speak out more. There's a lot more laws in place, and a lot of things that I don't know, I can't really say that it has diminished racism, but there's a lot more protections in place. Let me just say it that way. The reason I'm sharing this story today is that throughout my life, you know, I'm going to be 60 here, and all of the successes that I've had in life, you know, I went on to serve in the Air Force, and I had a very successful career. I worked my way up to a vice president at my organization, all kinds of things. But I never, ever forgot the look on that woman's face. And throughout my life and my career, I have seen that look. I've seen that look in the grocery store. I've seen that look, you know, just walking down the street. I've seen that look at events. I know the look. We all know the look. Then to share my experience of blatant racism, and that when you see the look or you get that feeling that I got in the law office that day, it's a real thing. It's not your imagination. It's a real thing. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great day.
We are all racist. Every single one of us who look like me, who are watching this video, we are racist. And let me explain what I mean by that, because if you would have told me that a few years ago, I would have come out of my corner swinging saying, no way, I am not. I have worked in the criminal justice system for decades, and I've seen the systemic racism there and fought against it. I have biracial children, and I have seen the way the world looks at my children who are of a minority race versus my children who look like me. And I would have said, no way. But here is the thing. The more I learn, the more I realize just how much I don't know. Because there are two types of racism. There's the kind of racism that comes from the hate in your heart, and I don't have that. I never have, and I suspect very many of you don't have it either. But there is another kind of racism that comes from ignorance, and that abounds in my life. Even me, who thought that I knew a lot about seeing systemic racism. But here's what I've learned. The more I learn, the more I realize how unintentionally racist I have been in so many things. And it is on us now, white people, to educate ourselves. We're never going to fully grasp what it means to live in a world where you are the minority and where the system has been set up for hundreds and hundreds of years to benefit people who look like me and to oppress people who look like my children. But we have got to educate ourselves. I'm going to start listing several books and documentaries that I've been watching to educate myself. And I hope any of you who really want this world to be a better place, we have got to start with the foundation that all men and women are created equal. And we have got to set new rules for how we move in this society if we're going to have that. I need to apologize to the friends, the clients, the people I interacted with for so many years, because I thought I wasn't racist, and I'm not, as far as the part that comes out of hate. But the part that is born from ignorance, I'm sorry. I should have done better, and I am learning. For those of you who are watching this who are minorities, please put your advice in the comments. Books, documentaries, movies, or just your life experiences. I want to learn, and I want to help others learn, because I don't want you or your children or my children to live in a world that is designed to fail them. Okay, so let's start this series of educating ourselves in order to make this world a better place. Go love your neighbor.
Stop using racism as a way to bond with other white people. And it's something that it doesn't matter where you live in this country. It is so deeply ingrained in society that you will find it. And that's happened with me a lot, is going out and about and people just assuming that I'm conservative, especially when I'm in places in California, and just immediately talking shit, immediately mentioning someone's race when it has nothing to do with the story. Talking about how the area is getting seedier because more people of color are around. Calling an area ghetto, using that term to describe anything that's associated with Black or brown people. Or even talking about the most recent DEI hire at your company. Those are all examples of racism. Or making ridiculous jokes where race is the punchline or where being sexist is the punchline. If you participate in these behaviors, you are absolutely enabling bigotry and you are part of the problem. Even if you're just placating them, you don't actually think it's funny and you think it's wrong, you don't fucking say something. You are a coward and you are also enabling the problem. You are also adding to white supremacy, even though you're not trying to. If someone is trying to bond with you over racism, fucking shut it down and do not talk to this person again. Racism is a social contagion and you can play your part to stop it.
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great from wherever you're watching this video from. Oftentimes, or majority of times, people come out and say that racism is something that ended long time ago. Oh, racism doesn't exist. Black people need to take accountable. Blah, 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 blah. But I don't think racism is about the physical things that happen to Black people. It is, okay, the right word is, it is not only physical things happening to Black people, but it is how also white people perceive Blacks, even though they are in their spaces. That itself shows a lot, because from the videos that I showed you, you could see people sharing or reacting to personal anecdotes. And this is pure racism, something that people are living with. So when a person comes out and says that, oh, racism is something that ended a long time ago, racism doesn't exist, those people complaining about racism need to find something to do with their lives, or they're complaining so much about something, it's all lie. Racism still exists. And at the same time, that was the main reason as to why I decided that I was going to be playing all these clips so that you can see and understand that racism indeed still exists and it lives with Black people. So when a person comes and argues that Black people need to do better, or racism ended a long time ago, no one is discriminating you, no one is stereotyping you. Yes, people are still stereotyping Black people. People are still viewing Black people as the cause of chaos. They do. It is something that still exists. So brothers and sisters, just let me know what you'll think about this. I just want to know your opinion in regards to this, because people are asking the same questions. Public spaces, Black people are being discriminated in regards to how people think about Blacks, how people feel about Black people. Majority of time, it's all crazy. Now, the segment of the group of girls dancing together reminds me of the story where a Black group had rented a space in a club, and a white man and a white woman came into their space and sat down and started talking to one another. Of course, the Black people were upset, trying to get them to leave their space, but it was the Black person who ended up being kicked out of the club. However, the manager who had them kicked out was fired when corporate heard about it. They do ignorantish like that. So many times they invade Black spaces. They feel entitled to Black spaces, especially when it is a specific place that Blacks have chosen, that this is where we're going to be resting, and they don't need no disturbance. That's the time you realize that they want to prove themselves. They want to show how they are better than you. They can get it anytime they want, right? Just let me know what you think about this. I just want to know your opinion in regards to this. So please, let me know what you all think about this, right? Until then, let me see you on my next video. Peace, love, and harmony. Salute.